We all have your attention.
I'm using my phone.
Joe, are you there? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So, and it's difficult setting this whole thing up.
Like now.
Yeah, yeah, we are live. We are live. Go ahead.
Where?
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes. It's,
Um,
Joe, we're waiting for you.
oh, okay.
We are up. Oh. I'm just
So
trying
I
to set up the Facebook one. So
uh
just go ahead. Just go ahead.
all right. Good evening, guys. Apologies for the lateness. We've been trying this thing for over many days now, just to be able to stream both Instagram and Facebook simultaneously. We've tried this thing day before yesterday. It worked. Our network has been crazy since yesterday. We returned doing, or I was so busy. But today, circumstances, I had no light earlier and all of that. Sorry. Um. So please, my apologies. All right. So I think before he joined, I don't know whether we are streaming or not. I can't see it, but if you can hear me, just Alpha join IG first. Okay. Um.
We are up actually. So it's going live on both Facebook and Instagram. I believe so. So we just need somebody to confirm that. Just give me a minute. I'll confirm that for.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, I can see comments coming in, sir. So go ahead.
From on Facebook.
On Instagram. So I can see Amos Sound joined, Izu joined, Sound Mind joined, and official Emmanuel Tom joined. So I think let's go. Ah, uh,
Of the demonstrations, yeah, and a little slide I wanted to show, you know. So like it coming I need to like create some of these things to you know. See, I see. So so I wrote here. The first on the slide is the role of a good mixer. You know, so what's the role of a good mixer? basically, I know acting up the mixer. If you've been doing this for a while now, or even with the idea, if you have the idea, you're just a starter, like big. I have a story. Some time ago, before I start, somebody
And
that you have knowledge in this thing, or why not to different so that you can learn from it. That would be a very good opportunity. Or I would like to. So after a while, he took me to the friend. I met him, and the first day I came to the studio, what I did just to fit in this. When I googled what was mixing and mastering so that the man asked me, so you have always mixing and mastering. So I went, I was showed what mastering was on Google. So I was just waiting for to see the man, but something happened. He didn't ask me what was mixing and mastering. He just called me in and like, well, how are you? How long have you been doing this? Like I'm a starter. I just needed to. But so the whole concept, while I said this story was, if when I say the role of a good mixer, I know if you've seen this topic for a while, you should have in your mind that these are some few things to consider you as a good mixer. So I wrote here the role of a good mixer. Um, I one transforming recorded tracks into an emotional compactive mix. This is for a studio guy, But generally, as a live person, the role of you, a mix guy, is you set up, collaborate, calibrate the room. You do sound checks before the real time mixing. Those are what I wrote here, from setup to calibration, sound check, and to real time mixing.
Joe, your network. Can you hear me? Yeah. So Joe, can you hear me? Okay. So go ahead. Go ahead. And I think we lost your audio. I think we lost your audio. Check your phone device again. Check your phone device.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's back. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so give me a minute. Am I
Okay.
coming?
So the
This thing
while we
does.
give Joe some time to once you are ready, just let us know. So being a
No,
better
no problem.
mixer on the live sound really entails fast response to challenges on the field. You understand? So you cannot be on the field and you cannot solve a challenge that comes up immediately. So I've been in the field for a couple of years now, and to be honest, if I'm going to share my experiences with you guys, we might not end this stream. There are situations where like you just come on and maybe you
Okay.
expected
Okay.
to do maybe a stage mix and you end up finding yourself at the broadcast or front of house. At that point, you have to deliver. Whether you prepared for stage or you prepared for front of house, you should be able to deliver at any point. Whether it's broadcast, it's front of house, it's stage, it's tech, any place they put you, you have to be as ready as possible. So being a better mixer, number one, the first thing you need to have in mind is you have to respond to problems immediately and have solutions to them as fast as possible. Even under pressure, you have to respond under pressure. In fact, most of 95% of the jobs we do in Nigeria are always on pressure. So you have to prepare yourself to get it done under pressure. You might be speaking to like 10 persons at the same time just to deliver. So so you have to have that in mind for you to be a better mixer. First of all, why did we choose a mixer? We are actually mixers, to be honest. We are actually mixers because we kind of create the feeling to the audience. We kind of make the sound that we want the audience to hear. So
Richard, I think we lost. I can't hear you.
really, uh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but it's very low.
Really? Sorry. How about now?
Now I can't hear you again.
Can you
Oh,
now? Hmm? Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I was just sharing with them on being fast at responding to challenges on the field as a good mixer. You have to be you have to be ready to work under pressure. That's one of the criteria. You have to be ready to work under pressure. Our kind of stuff we do in Nigeria is always unplanned. It's always unplanned. There's none of them that we plan. In fact, a client might call you a day before the event and is expecting you to deliver at 100%. That's the place we find ourselves. So you have to be ready to do that. As a good mixer, Joe, are you
Yes,
there? Can you hear me? Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Man, are you sure this is not network? Man, Nigeria network is crazy. Uh,
Hmm.
To be honest, I can see some of the guys that have joined us. Thank you. Somebody responded. Sound mind. Thank you. At least somebody. Joe, can you see? Can you see the Instagram?
From where? I can't see anything.
Okay, sorry, but you can open it with your laptop now.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
that
true.
we could be seeing the comment. So, uh, for
Let
me,
me.
there are some steps you kind of follow. You need to know one of the basic thing. In fact, as a good mixer, one of the basic thing I always advise anybody is gain structure, gain staging. You need to know about that. It's very, very important if you want to become a good mixer. I have a lot of challenges with most of the engineers, like a lot of challenges with this particular topic. I don't know whether we need to take this particular topic separately, but gain structure is very, very important. Gain staging. Now, a lot of us think that it is set and leave. Let's be realistic with ourselves. Gain staging is not something you set and you leave it in a particular signal. Why do I say that? Before you guys come judging now, let me tell you why. We don't have a particular mic. We don't, okay, for an artist, we use one particular mic and share it with multiple artists or multiple users, which is not supposed to be so. Each artist is supposed to have their own gain structure, for their vocal strength. You understand? So you don't just use one particular gain structure for everybody that is going to use that mic. It's not going to be the same. If we are going to be realistic with ourselves, you say, oh, gain structure is just, or gain staging is for you to set it and leave it throughout the event. That's a lie. That's us lying to ourselves. Now, let me not even talk about vocal. Let's talk about bass. If you set a gain structure for let's say the main band for the bass, another bassist comes in with a higher preamp and plugs it to your DI or your signal and increases the bass, you will not get the same signal. So as a better mixer, you are to know that, oh, this is not the right signal that is going to the console, and you have to bring it down to the level, probably minus 18. Some people do minus 12. I most of the time I stick with minus 18. If it's going to spike too much, it's going to go to minus 12 dB. You understand? So, and most of the time this is me mixing stage. It's very, very important whether you are front of house, you are broadcast, you are a stage engineer. This is very, very important. If you are going to be a good mixer, you need to know this. You need to know this. It's very, very important. You understand? Legendary, thank you for joining. uh Sir, what please, everybody, if you are joining, please just tell us where you are joining from. Just raise your hand, kind of, so we know the people that are joining. Thank you. So gain structure is very, very important. Gain staging, so it's not a set, a like a fixed stuff. Is not a fixed stuff throughout the event. you might be doing a little change. But if you get your game structure right, you might not end up changing them throughout the event. That is, if you are sticking to one band, that could just work. You understand? So that is very, very important. As a good mixer, you need to learn routing. Routing. Some of the people that work on the site, they just feel that, oh, they will just come to the site, and all they need to know is just to roll cables, or push speakers or carry speakers, or just help around. If you are going to be in the audio space, you need to learn how to route on any console that you find yourself most of the time, or the console you find yourself seen in the field most of the time. You need to find your way to learn how the routing is. You go to the field most times, you see that probably they want to get, maybe the front of us engineer is on stage and he wants to get something done on his board, and he doesn't want to run all the way to maybe about 50 meters or 30 meters to where the console is, and there's somebody right there. You can just call and say, oh, please, can you check this out, that this is working. You understand? And sorry, Joe, you know, we're in Nigeria, so this is bound to happen. I'm not even new to this. So, Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Man, we are
It's
out.
crazy. Yeah.
Sorry, the light was out, so I had to use an alternative. So sorry, guys. This is Nigeria. So routing is very, very important. Routing is very, very important if you are going to be a good mixer in this space. You need to learn about our input, which is the DI boxes, cables. You need to learn about all those things. The right DI box to use, the right mics to use, mic positions, uh, the right mic cable, the right speaker cable. It's very, very important if you are going to be a good mixer. Learn how to control feedback. A lot of the times, one of the go-to is to bring down the master fader. That's what one of the things I learned first. You have to bring down the master fader. As you progress further, you find out that that does not solve the issue. So you need to be part of the setup, even if you are not part of the team. Let's say you find yourself on the console. The main thing is for you to know that, okay, there's a feedback, there's a particular frequency that is feeding back, and if you have an opportunity to kind of solve that, you should be able to do that. So it's very, very important to control feedback. Learn that. As a good mixer, you need to know how to control feedback. Ringing out the monitors is very, very important, which is, if you go out in field, I have a different, like, I have an entirely different thought about ringing out monitors, which, to me, that is my own idea. I'm not saying that that is the right thing to do, or that is what everybody should follow, but I have my own thing that works for me. You understand? You can only try it if it works for you. I have a different way to approach monitors, which that is not what we're discussing today. Probably the day we'll be discussing that, I'll be sharing that with you guys. So ringing your monitors, EQ, know how to use parametric EQ, know how to use graphic EQs. Joe, I'm still waiting for you. I hope I'm not intruding into your what you have there.
You know,
Eh?
you don't enter finish.
It's another cafe. Bro, I'm waiting
Yeah.
for you. So
I
I'm just hitting on the points
you,
before you now enter the whole stuff.
I was going to take them the book way.
No, go ahead, go ahead. Me, I'm just doing
You
a
know.
general, to be honest, just to wait for
I
you.
know.
Okay. So
I know.
when you are
So
ready, just let me know. Are you
like
ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm.
Go ahead.
So like I said the other time, Richard has given the general this thing of what we're going to talk about, or what we are talking about today. But I just needed us to, in context. What if this is like your first time of joining this, and then you don't even know what gain staging is? You don't know how to even, you know, trying to fix your sound sources to fit in your room for a particular event. So those were like the roles I was listing in the first time, which is um, for a good mixer or to become a good mixer. These are the basic things you should know. This is my role. If I walk into this place, I need to set up, I need to calibrate the room in the sense that you know, okay, you in a place where far from it anyway, you know, if I bring in these boxes, it will serve for this place. And far from what the calibration does, that's what I'm trying to explain. Yeah, calibration. So you need to know, okay, I need to bring in how many of these boxes to fit in this room before, being a good mixer, the word is mixing. So these are the roles you need to play before you go. Mixing is like the last thing you do. Like I used to tell people, it's like the last thing you do when you come to a room. You're not when you're in a room. The first thing you're doing is not to bring in your console and start tuning and start mixing. What are you mixing? You need to get your lines ready. You need to get your speakers hanged or flown or stacked. So like those are the roles. You need to come in once you're like these are your biggest role as a good mixer. You come into the room, you set up. After setups are done, you do sound check. Then before the real time mixing,
Yeah, Joe, we lost you, man.
you need to know how you need to
Okay.
know then when you're done setting up, you're done doing sound check. This is where the real mixing begin. Now, the things you need to do before you get down to this mixing is actually what we decided to talk about today, which are main line inputs from mic inputs, when you need to convert, you
Exactly.
know, when you need to convert from, so you're not just plugging jack to XLR, there are conversion for them. Some of them has very high impedance, some has very low impedance, you know. So basically, these are the things you need to know. These are the things that makes you a wonderful guy in the front of house. Whether front of house or monitors or you're doing broadcast. This is the basic. You need to know which of these instruments have very high impedance. You need to know when to use your DI boxes. All right. You need to know how many meters you can run your signal cables or speaker cables. You cannot just come to an event, then you're running, or you're even doing installation, for instance, and you're running a speaker cable of about maybe like 20 meters. It works. We do. I know. I've seen it. But you're really losing. You're losing as it goes on, whether you like it or not. And sometimes the drop are very much. Some are very audible. You can have a drop off of like 3 dBs or more when you run that long for a speaker cable. Then down to your board. You've gotten your sources. Your sources need to be right. I know I had this conversation with a friend of ours, a colleague here. It is a debate. You might have a great sources, according to him. You might have great sources, and your mixing is trash, notable. So, what about cases where you don't even have good sources? Cases where you don't even have good sources, it's a problem. So, me, basically, what I would say, try as much as possible to get a good source. We down here with a lot of time fine tune bad sources, which is a little bit of headache. The times you need to do other things, the times you need to use and balance. That this is going into my second slide, core responsibilities of being a good mixer: balancing of tones, dynamic controls, automation, and quality control. All right. So the times you need to have to balance, you're trying to use it to balance a particular what's the name? A particular input you have. You're trying to use it to balance. You have a very poor choices of polar pattern of microphone for the stage. Your blades are terrible and all. So this is like your sources for me is like number one. You on
Joe, are you fine? While we wait for Joe, he was explaining the poor sources. So I think the network is really giving him a hard time there. Just so while we wait for him, so it's very very important to have to know most of these things that he has explained, especially your line input. It's very very important for you to know this thing as a good mixer before climbing the console to do whatever. You understand? Get it right. That's why most times I always tell people that it's not about to start from front of house or start from the console. When I was learning, I actually didn't go for mixing or knowing how to operate the console. My first bet was to get it right from the whole input. The whole thing was to get my source right. It was very very important because if you don't have a good source, you will not be able. There's nothing you can do on the console. So I started learning from getting the input connection and knowing how to match speakers to amplifiers. Those were the things I told my boss then to really teach me. So most times we go for installation, I'll be like, don't do anything, just tell me whatever you want me to do, and I was going to get it done. So that was how I was doing most of those things. You understand? So anyone I get wrong, he was going to correct it and tell me, oh, you don't do it this way, you approach it this way. So it really helped me in okay, because he wasn't the one doing it, I was the one doing it. So I could differentiate between the one I was doing wrong and the one I was doing right. You understand? In that learning process, I could identify both of them. So it's very, very important. It's very, very important starting from the tech aspect, backline, backline tech, whatever tech, drum tech, speaker tech, whatever. Just start from the tech side, because when you have the tech knowledge, you'll be able to approach things on the console differently. You understand? I never knew. Growing up as the audio guy, then to be honest, I never knew because of the multiple things I got myself in learning curve. I never knew that bass could be connected without a DI box. You understand? I never knew that. So I, I thought, oh, if you don't have a DI box, you can't use the bass. Until there was one of the local band, then I just went around and we had the engineer, one of my friends, best friends as of then. So we had a serious argument, and he was like, this is what he uses most of the time, and it works
Jesus
for him.
Christ.
Joe is back.
Richard,
This is what he uses most of the time, and it works for him. Joe,
Richard, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Woo, where, oh, Jesus.
What
I've
happened? The
been talking to
network?
myself. Eh?
Eh?
Have I been talking to myself?
I thought. Sorry. I think I need to get another phone so that we'll be having like a chat room or something. We lost you for like almost a few minutes.
Jeez. Where was I? When did you, what was I
That
saying?
was input.
Okay,
Your
when I was talking about input.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gone past that. I've gone. Jesus Christ.
Nigeria go when you, but no panic.
Oh my God. All right. So quickly, yeah. So when
Yeah.
I was talking about input, did you hear? It's back. No, man. Okay. So I was talking about. Did you the when I was talking about one of my colleague, one of our colleague, that we had this debate on good sources and bad sources and bad engineer. Did you hear that one?
No.
Oh shit. That was a long time, man. Okay, I'm sorry. So I said I was saying I posted something sometime some weeks ago, and I was having a debate with one of our guys. He was talking about having good sources but bad engineer. But I told him what I posted that day was talking about good sources. Forget about the engineer for now. All right. I know there are times where you have good sources, but the mixer is bad. Now, Richard, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So I beg when if you just the time to time, I beg.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the only thing why they see now myself.
Okay, okay.
uh, so
But you can
so
see me
I
now,
told
right?
him, yes, I can see you now.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
I told him that I know it's a debate, but I told him there are times why dwelling. So for you, if you're a good mixer, all right, you
Yeah.
will never prefer a bad sauces. You will never. There's nobody that will prefer a bad sauce because you can make it work. Because you can make it work doesn't mean it's a good thing to do. So what I preach is good sauce. Then you be the problem. And sometimes there are levels where you have good sauce. Whether you be the problem, people might not even notice because your sources are right. The choices of your microphone, you might pick a bad polar pattern for your stage or for the events. All right. You will definitely fight that. You will fight it. So for the times you have to communicate your mix with the audience, communicate all the elements you are having, you're receiving to your board, to your audience. You're using it to balance a particular input.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whom are you doing? You know, is just so at the end of the day, you stand for 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours doing nothing because on the long run you failed. They can tell. Now the bad sauce you've been fixing sometimes are louder than the rest of them that are good. You know. So I was saying now this point brings me to my next slide, which is core responsibilities and value, where we talk about balance, tone shaping, dynamics control, automation, and quality control. You know, I was talking about balance earlier. You can't if you have for me or if you're becoming if to become a good mixer, please have a good source to an extent. It will save you time. It will really save you time and save you a lot of processing. I hope that makes
Yes,
sense
yes.
to us.
That
It will
one is
save you
very, very
time
important.
and like so it will save you time. I just talked about tonal shaping. It will save you time and the time to begin to when your sources are bad. Let's use drums to drum mic for instance. When you start shaping the tone of a part to drum for you maybe you have like 30 minutes for sound check and you've been on 15 minutes and you have like maybe 8 singers. You still have other elements of the mix there. For please, how do you meet up with sound check? You're not sound checking again because your guests are inside already. Now you're sound checking into your time of event, which is bad. So at the end of the day, you see, it boils down to having a good source too. All right. I know we are crazy guys. We can maneuver bad sources to work, but come on. The fun of it is having a good source. All right. If it makes sense. So I went on to talk about basic on the core responsibilities. I've talked about tonal shaping, dynamic control. Now this is you mixing. When you the level at which you should understand the dynamics of everything you're working on.
Joe, please help me check
When we talk
your
about
audio is
dynamics, we're
looping.
not only talking about compressors and all of those dynamic elements. Your source has its dynamics. There are levels where the
Did you hear me?
by audio.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it was sounding twice.
But is
I
it still
think you need
breaking?
to use earpiece or something. What were you using before?
I should use earpiece.
What were you using before?
I was not using anything.
Abi, you increase the speaker.
Okay, is it better now? Is it better now?
Eh?
Not
It's
so. I'm
better
just
now.
talking
It's
to my
better.
phone.
It's better now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was talking about dynamics, automation, and quality control.
Yeah.
You know, after you're done balancing, you're done shaping your mix. Now we've talked about having the right sources. We've talked about having the right sources, then adjusting. Where now it falls down to where Richard was talking about your gain structure before even balancing. I think I jumped that. Now you need to when you have your right sources, everything is coming to your body. You're fine with your sources. Now the first thing
Joe,
to do
please
after
check
is
your mic. Check.
you
Or you need to use.
your inputs are you've had all your
You
inputs
need to
in
use
your mixing console.
earpiece.
The second thing to do is having a good gain structure. At least start with
Joe,
a
can you hear
very good
me?
gain structure. Now in this helps you in the automation level. Okay, let me use it.
Sorry.
My phone don't mute.
Same thing here.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me, Abby?
Yes.
Hello?
This is better.
Richard.
Yeah, this is better.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, wow. It's a
Change
long night,
your
man.
mic input
Uh,
to
Richard.
your output, Abi, your speaker output to that.
Okay.
Can you hear now?
No, I'm not charging. Bring your charger for me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, okay. So I was saying, um, so when you, yes. So when everything is, all your inputs are, you're seeing all your inputs on your mixing decks. Now the next thing to do, like Richard was explaining, is you need to have a proper gain structure for all your inputs. Now this helps you in the automation of the levels as it goes. You know, knowing like you explained, like you were talking about some levels which minus 12 and minus 18 dBs. I know for me, I do my drums, I do my kick drums for like minus 12, all my snare minus 18 because snares are very loud. My floor tom, I do my floor tom for like minus 12 too. All my toms are minus 12. But the rest, my kick is minus 18 thereabout. Then every other input minus 12, minus 18, depending on the loudness from when I tell the musicians to pack it up. So I have a smooth time and a very high level when I'm adjusting my gains. All right. Does this make sense? Richard, can you hear me? Hello? You can hear me, Abby?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you hear the last thing I said?
To be honest, I was trying to fix the audio stuff. So just repeat, just recap again, please.
Okay, so I was talking about my own gain structure type
Yeah,
where I make my toms are usually minus 12 dBs. My toms, my
yeah.
kick minus
minus 18, minus 12, depending on who is playing. And my snare is usually minus 18 or lesser because those guys can flog snare for, uh, especially our guys here, they can flog snare for everything. So their strength on the snares are, I think, it's different from what they do on the rest of the drums. Then every other of my inputs has minus 18. Now this is dependent on who is playing at at the time. All right. I've had to boost guitar very high because the guy was a very soft player. We could barely hear him. I'll just stay and notice that my guitar is going. I can't hear my guitar. And we had a very good gain structure when we started. Now this comes to one of my core responsibilities, which is automation and quality control. Now, if you need to make these people, because you're not mixing for yourself, especially if you're doing front of house. Now, this concerns front of house a lot more because monitor mix is a very different thing on its own. All right. So you're trying to communicate whatever all these incredible guys on stage are doing to the public, to your audience rather. You know, at every point, and I think I have that in one of my slides as a topic. At every point, whether the best guy or the best person with a good hearing in that audience, they know, especially now, a lot of persons are so aware of whatever is happening on stage. They cannot tell you exactly how they are being processed, but they can tell you, okay, there's a guitar here, there's a bass here, there are drums here, there are BGVs and all of those things here, but we can only hear the bass because of the depth. We can only hear the kick drum. We can only hear people stay in your room that you think you're doing an incredible job, and this is what they are hearing. This is what their judgment is. Why we not hearing? That's why you see you can just stay and be mixing, and somebody walk up to you and tell you, I can't hear the guitar. It's not like they have a problem, and you check. You're not the guitar is not coming out. I've had that. I've experienced that before. My guitar was very low now because I was paying attention to something else. Somebody just told me, not your guitar has been like the guy I was talking about. I had to, crank up his game because I don't know why, but we had a very good gain structure when we started, but along the line we dropped down. I don't know what happened, but it was crazy, So your gain structures are like the primarily before you even get down to your EQ, compression, FX, and all of those embellishments. So apart from this, I don't know why this has come before. I don't know. I think I swapped something, but I was going to talk about critical listening. Now, the critical listening has to do with your it has to do with ear training. Just like a good musician can sit and you play a particular note and it calls for you. As a good mixer, you need to also be able to recognize a frequency. Like if this frequency is feeding back or not, or it's been now. If you are losing this frequency in a mix, most times when the pros and every other person talk about ear listening and all of that, they tell you so that you can identify disturbing frequencies and chop them off. Now there are gears that can help you identify frequencies that there is a problem in your mix. But I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, there is. But for a person, when you're talking about critical mixing, which is, oh my god, my phone is slow. When you're talking about critical listening, you're talking about your personal self. You should be able to, with your ears, you should be able to, tell which of the frequencies is lacking in your mix. That differentiates between the pros and a beginner. the ability to tell what frequency is lacking in your mix. You're not chopping off all the mids. You're not having goods of the highs. Highs are very, sometimes they can be so dynamic, they can be so piercing and all of that. But there are times it's not, you are not totally chopping them off. You can tell what you can recognize. That's the word. So when you're really trained your ears, you can recognize frequencies. And what does this do for you? It's shaping how you mix. Can you hear me? Richard. Oh, hello. Michael, now off your data. Oh my God.
I can hear you, Richard.
Can you hear me?
I did hear you, my bro. I was saying, for the sake of all these glitches and all of that, maybe you should reschedule it to Monday. We just touch a bit today because my slide is very long and only a few things. Don't talk inside. I was going to rush to section. Mm. Okay. So maybe for Abby. Mm. So I can you hear me? So before we round up, before 9, let me just finish on the ear training and frequency how you can at least recognize frequencies that are missing in the mix. Most times what they tell us is, or what we hear most times is, uh, with ear training you can be able to spot out frequencies that are disturbing in the room. And most times you if now critical listening will tell you some of the frequencies you're missing or you're losing in a mix. All right, these are what makes your mix stand out. It differentiates you from being a pro, from a beginner to a pro. You know, you're not just tweaking. You know this is frequencies. You know your go-to. You know how a particular instrument or element is supposed to sound. All right, and by playing it, you know how it sounds on your PA. If it's not sounding, well, you know, okay, it's your PA or whatsoever you're having that is the problem, not from your source. All right, and I have okay, air training frequencies and translation across all system. Okay, so I have something else here, but Richard, make this one. If I start this one, it go take time. So um, just as he has said, we need to record this particular topic and then post here. Because I was going to talk about frequency spectrums, understanding low ends, mid range, presence, and air frequencies. I think this, like, if you really was paying attention, I've said it in some of the things I said earlier, but I think deep down. So we just talk about how to understand some of them. Like I was talking about you not having some of your mid ranges frequencies in your mix. They sound not really nice, but boxy and all of that, muddy. But sometimes you need there are places you need them. You're not just chopping them off because a frequency chart showed you that this frequency range is boxy, is muddy, is harsh, and all of that. Mm? So I the no the that's there's this people tell you you need to get enough of headroom when you're mixing and all of that. Your gain structures and your gain structure or gain fundamentals let you have headrooms for every of your inputs. Now, when you know that that gain structure is after you've set up, after you've calibrated the room, after you've done your sound check, or before you do your sound check. This is like one of the most important thing you need to do. It's your fundamental thing that you need to do because as you go in the mix, real time, it affects or enhances your performance while mixing. I hope this makes sense to us. You know, so why we really want to explain some of these things here is so you get understanding. It's not a community where we tend to waste your time saying nothing or just to appear on flyers to feel among. I just wish we could get something. It pains me a lot that this evening we're not really shared a lot before this time because we started so late and even in between we're having glitches of network and then trying to know people who are online and who is not. All right. I just hope we did not waste your time today. You were able to get something because that's like the core value of what this life is about. All right. Richard, can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, I can. So They can. If I can hear you, they can.
Okay. So the I'm hearing myself twice. Like okay, I can hear myself now. So what we have discussed today,
I had to pay. I had to pay for an apartment to come and then. I had to pay for an apartment to stay here. Yes. Understands. Yeah.
hear me. I think I need to switch to this other camera. So this is a community that is meant to build people that like a family that if I'm not available or you are not available, we can easily connect and put things together. So by doing that, we need to somebody don't say waiting will route. I swear, me so I don't know. so so
You say?
we need to be on the same level of understanding so that when we get to
Give me. Give me your phone.
when we get to the site, we'll be able to connect because I get to work with a lot of guys and we tend to how will I put it, not kind of understand ourselves because we're not on the same mindset, if I'm permitted to use that. You see somebody like some things I won't even want to share here. Like game structure is a challenge. Somebody will look at an EQ and tell you that that EQ is wrong. Like you have not even heard the sound. You are already telling me that the EQ is wrong when you have not heard the sound. So we are trying to close that gap that everybody is like the basic things. We'll be sharing all that. So the next section that we'll be doing will be by God's grace, we'll be bringing Mr. Tyron, and we have amazing surprise for you guys. He's going to be sharing his drum approach live. He's going to be sharing his drum approach. Hopefully we'll be able to bring up LV1 on the screen, so you all will be able to see what he has on his console. I think he's going to walk us through his setup, his mix approach. He's going to do that. So just hold on. I think we lost the network here. I just hope we Joe. Joe, can you hear me? Okay, I think the stream. Okay, I think the stream is you just drop frames like this. No, this thing is coming in. Okay, we'll back on. So, man, the network is terrible. I'm not even going to lie. The network is terrible. Are you still there? So the next episode is going to be we're going to be having one of our favorite audio guy, Mr. Tyron, to share his drum mix approach or live here, and probably you guys will be able to hear. Yeah, yes, sir. We can't see you. We
I
can't
told
see
him
you
he could do
again.
that.
No.
I've seen other people do it way before. I'm just kidding. Oh no, I know you are. But he said no. Today he did.
Really, man, I don't even know what's going on.
Yes.
Uh, Go ahead. Go ahead. I think the screen should be out. The screen should be out. How about now? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Please let's just probably we will get this right the next time we come online. So guys, thank you for joining us. So
Okay.
Joe, you hear me? I think
Well,
we
I
need
think
to
that's that. Sure. This
end
network get
here.
embarrassing, Richard.
I'm telling you. So till we see,
You're calling a sound mind. Sound mind. Thank you. And so ever
please, let's
join.
the
I really
guys
can't
they
see you,
tried
but
to
I
cope
think
with
Richard was
the whole
mentioning
network
names
mess.
earlier. So really appreciate you joining, despite the late in the beginning, and we we still had some glitches in between. Thank you. Okay, my light is gone. This is one of the problems we are talking about.
Hey man,
Richard,
that's the sign.
Richard,
My okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate. Man.